with the constant sound of gunshots echoing across the huge Pacific Ocean. The film opens in the tumultuous year of 1944, amid the deafening chaos of World War II. We follow Ellis, a tenacious American Marine captain, as he guides his unit across the dangerous waters in this dangerous environment. During a crucial mission, his party had been brutally assaulted by Japanese soldiers, leaving destruction in their wake. In the midst of the mayhem, Ellis makes a tight escape and ends up stranded in a little rubber raft for days on end, alone on the endless sea with nothing to guide him but the horizon. Weakened by fatigue and hunger, but with an unwavering determination to live, he looks out over the endless waves until his tired eyes glimpse a far-off island, a glimmering hope of rescue. His arms hurt from the strain, but he paddles toward the shore with fresh will until he reaches the sandy beach. With his pulse racing with hope, he secures the raft among the rocks and enters the island, looking for any indication of assistance. The scene opens up in front of him, full of tall trees, colorful flora, and rocky rock formations, but there are no people around, which makes him feel even more alone. As Ellis continues into the middle of the island, he spots a small church tucked away in the foliage, its dilapidated exterior a ray of hope. He approaches warily and sees Angela, a Catholic nun, come out of the dark doorway. It is shocking to see her here in this bleak location. The sight of a stranger takes Angela by surprise, and she freezes, her eyes wide with fear. Seeing her panic, Ellis puts up his hands in a peace sign and says quietly, "Please don't be afraid. You're safe with me because I'm an American Marine." Her anxiety is reduced by his cool manner, and he inquires about the number of other people living on the island. In a firm yet quiet voice, Angela responds, "I am here alone." Ellis finds it difficult to believe her since he doesn't believe she lives alone in such a remote place. Angela gently extends an invitation to her modest shelter, a tiny, improvised home built from organic resources. She gives him food there, a simple supper of fruits and roots, which he gladly accepts because his body is hungry after being lost for days. Ellis asks more, wondering why she is alone. According to Angela, she had traveled to the island with a priest who was on a mission to save elderly priests from Japanese forces that were on the march. Unfortunately, the priests were stuck after the enemy had already seized them by the time they got there. They were forced to hide due to the chaos of the battle, but Angela was left alone when the priests fell ill. Her people abandoned her to this lonely life because they thought the Japanese had stolen her. Inspired by her tale, Ellis offers his own. He narrowly survived a surprise attack that destroyed his unit, and he drifted aimlessly until destiny took him to this island. A little rest later, Ellis argues, Angela's religion is a silent strength in the face of uncertainty, as evidenced by her kneeling in the dark light of her refuge, lighting candles with reverence, and uttering prayers for heavenly direction. With their existence reliant on the island's resources, they went out together to gather food. Ellis, who understands that he needs protein to rebuild his strength, climbs huge coconut trees with the agility of an experienced soldier, shaking down ripe fruits and delivering them to Angela, who waits below, her hands steady as she gathers their bounty. Ellis sees a turtle moving across the shallows of the water. Determined to help, Angela joins him as he prepares the raft using a rope and a piece of driftwood. The soft waves of the sea lap against their flimsy boat as they paddle toward the turtle. It is difficult to capture the animal. The turtle is too agile for Ellis, and in a moment of error, he falls into the ocean where the icy sea swallows him. Their ability to work together to secure the turtle is evidence of their developing trust, as Angela quickly steps in to help Michael regain his footing on the raft. The delectable perfume of the turtle fills the air as Ellis expertly prepares and cooks it back on the island. He says, with renewed hope as they eat, "This island has everything we need. We can persevere even if help never arrives." Angela inquires about his family, since she wants to know about his past. Ellis discloses that he is an orphan who endured hardships while growing up in an orphanage till the age of 14. Angela, in turn, tells her own experience. Like Ellis, she was an orphan who chose to become a nun and finds happiness and comfort in her unshakable faith, which motivates her to lead others to hope. Despite their divergent viewpoints, Ellis's cynical practicality and Angela's calm spirituality contrast, and they develop a strong bond as their vulnerability unites them. Their tenuous tranquility is broken the following morning by the sound of Japanese fighter planes overhead. Ellis, using battle-trained instincts, drags Angela into the brush and warns her that being seen could result in her death. He proposes that they withdraw to a cave he had previously observed, its shadowy entrance concealed by the rocks. Angela nods, believing his assessment, and they hide inside its damp confines for the day, their breathing blending with the distant buzz of battle. The island is rocked by loud explosions at morning. Ellis warily looks out as he sees Japanese jets destroying the area, leaving behind smoke and devastation. Angela, clutching her rosary and praying frantically, her lips moving in quiet supplication, is shaking with anxiety. Ellis, moved by her anguish, puts a gentle hand on her shoulder and offers words of consolation. The island is damaged by the attack, and after the jets take off, they come out to discover their shelter and the church reduced to rubble. When a Japanese squad shows up, they set up a meteorological station and demolish Ellis's raft, eliminating any possibility of escape. They observe soldiers patrolling in the area. Ever watchful, Ellis holds a knife ready to protect Angela, but the troops go by without finding out where they are hidden. Desperate and starving, Angela proposes giving up in the hopes that the Japanese may spare a nun, which would allow Ellis to escape. Their supper is almost gone, she observes. Resolute and protective, Ellis declines, stating, "We can't take that chance. They could harm you in any way." We remain undetected. In the shadow of night that night, Ellis slips out to see the Japanese camps from a safe distance, dodging their patrols. He carefully moves to avoid being noticed as he wades into the shallows to fish. When a soldier notices him, Ellis, acting fast, floats still and pretends to be dead until the man passes. After catching a few fish, he goes back to the cave and shares the scant food with Angela. Angela, who gave up seafood after becoming a nun, finds it difficult to swallow the raw fish, but Ellis consumes it with ease. Her body weakens from hunger, and she throws up after being unable to control her stomach. Later, when Angela is sleeping, Ellis goes out once more, suiting his face to make it fit in with the darkness. He sneaks into the Japanese camp and quietly gathers enough rice and canned supplies to sustain them in a sack. Ellis is forced to hide behind crates as a soldier approaches, holding his breath while his heart races. He is trapped there through the night and can't get out until the soldiers are preoccupied with training exercises at daybreak. Ellis seizes the opportunity and steals the food, hiding in the jungle until it's safe to go back. Angela, meantime, wakes up to discover him gone, her pulse pounding in terror that he has been slain or captured. She prays for his protection while tears fall down her cheeks. Angela's elation upon Ellis's safe return is evident, but her worry quickly transforms into rage. She continues, "You left without a word," in a shaky voice. "I thought you were dead." Ellis apologizes and swears he won't ever leave without telling her. The following day, in an attempt to cheer her up, Ellis gives Angela a bright flower and a little wooden comb he made, actions that make her smile. He inquires as to whether she would ever think about quitting her nunhood for a secular one, curious about her future. Since nuns have 5 years to make a final decision, Angela discloses that she has not taken her final vows and that she is still unsure about her course. Ellis, who is growing fond of her, wishes she will change her mind about her commitment. Noises break their moment of connection. The Japanese soldiers are leaving the island and packing up. Ellis and Angela are ecstatic when they find the items that were left behind, which helps them with their food crisis. Ellis shares his challenges and the loneliness he experienced as a child during this brief period of respite. "I've fallen in love with you," he admits vulnerably. "Please consider breaking your vows and getting married to me after the war." Shocked, Angela says. Despite being offended, Ellis accepts her decision and says, "I'm sorry if my words upset you." She is devoted to God and cannot compromise her beliefs for a romantic relationship. "Please pardon me." During dinner that evening, Ellis finds a bottle of Japanese sake. After consuming large amounts of alcohol, he becomes inebriated and, in a moment of weakness, rejects Angela's vows as pointless, likening their seclusion to Adam and Eve in a primordial Eden. Deeply wounded, Angela runs into the jungle, where she collapses and falls asleep in the cold, soaked by the rain. In the dark, sober Ellis looks around wildly, but is unable to locate her. He finds her comatose at daylight, her body cold from the exposure. He carries her in this direction of the deserted camp, but he has to withdraw to the cave when he discovers the Japanese have returned. Angela's breathing becomes shallow as her illness worsens. Ellis enters the Japanese camp covertly and steals blankets and medication, risking everything. In a desperate move, Ellis uses his knife to murder the man after a soldier spots him, concealing the body to prevent identification. His cynicism gives way to optimism as he returns to the cave, changes Angela's damp clothes to keep her warm, gives her the medication, and for the first time, prays for her recovery. Angela asks who changed her clothes after she comes to. Ellis apologizes for his inebriated remarks and explains that it was essential to preserve her life. Their relationship is strengthened by mutual understanding after she forgives him. Abruptly, there are blasts outside. After discovering the body of their man, the Japanese start blasting the island in an attempt to find Ellis. "Come out or we'll throw a grenade," the soldiers yell as they approach the cave. Angela believes that time is running out and prays when faced with death or surrender. Then there are more deafening explosions. American Navy aircraft are striking the Japanese. Ellis and Angela go outdoors to watch the attack, and the sight of American aircraft cheers them up. Ellis points out that an American landing would be risky because the Japanese had set up 4 cannons. He states to Angela, "I must disable those cannons to save my comrades as God would wish." Despite her concern, Angela concurs. Ellis maneuvers through the battlefield, where the majority of Japanese men lie dead from shrapnel wounds, dodging bombs. He continues, precisely deactivating each cannon, saving the lives of innumerable Americans in the process. Angela discovers him hurt when she emerges from the cave and carefully administers to his wounds. "Wounded," Ellis remarks, "our paths diverge now. We may never meet again." "Even though I can't be with you, you'll always be in my heart," Angela responds in a gentle voice. In triumph, the American Navy lands and hoists its flag. The Navy captain had assumed Ellis was dead and was shocked to see him alive. Angela follows the medics as they put Ellis on a stretcher, her presence a silent farewell. Ellis respects Angela's decision to become a nun and never presses her about his feelings. In exchange, Angela treasures their relationship. True love transcends, as the narrative demonstrates, ceases to be physically joined, yet endures in the heart. I appreciate you watching. Kindly subscribe.